and welcome back. And yes, of course, the same thing we have every week at this time, when everyone loves to hear what the big man's talking about, and I'm spreading it out now because he's cleaning his glasses. Welcome again, Dale Smyth.
Thank you very much, Dick. Yep, look, another interesting round of under-18 football on the weekend. East Geelong played Inverleigh, and Inverleigh, I think, were above them at the stage, but with some injuries to their senior side, played a few through the season, and the kids that have gone up have done pretty well. But East Geelong, 14-8-92, defeated Inverleigh 5-2-32, so a really big win out there. Bolton got 4 goals for East Geelong, along with Elliott 3 and Bowman 2. Their better players, Nolan, Thompson and Elliott. And for Inverleigh, Muir got 3, Brumby and Tarbert, their other 2 goal kickers. No better players listed there, so I'm not too sure what's going on. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Corio continued to play some good football, 16-16, 112, to defeat Bellpost Hill 1-3-9. Taylor was their main goal kicker with 6, and Scott 2. Better players, Scott, Taylor and Loon Garcia. Bellpost Hill's goal kicker was Miller, and their better players there, Smyth, Rockow and Grinter. Belmont Lions, there might be some glory for the Cogsy and the boys out there, but they played Geelong West St Joe's in the weekend. They kicked 20 goals, 13, 133 to defeat Geelong West.
Keep your head out of the
4 goals, 125. Zahn continues to kick goals at full forward, kicking 6, Double Dam with 5. Patterson and Praviti got 2. Rink, is that right? Thank you, Cogsy, was the best player with Vickers and Kenyon. Geelong West, Mullen got 2, Breed and O'Toole. They're better players there, Jimenez, Breed and Kiss. North Geelong, 25-20, 170, defeated Winchelsea, who didn't score, but they, as I said, the Winch boys will keep trying out there, they're going all right. North Geelong, goal kickers, Kingwell 7, Short 4, Willoughby and Riccardi 2. Better players there, Kingwell, Short and Phillips. Best players for Winchelsea, Kitchen, McKernan and Wilson. Bannockburn, 22-15, 147 to defeat Thompson 1-5-11. As I said, Thompson boys started with 14. They got 4 kids which come out from under 16s to help them out halfway through the second quarter a bit later. And from then they did a pretty good job. Some of those kids aren't bad footballers either. Dylan was 6 for Bannockburn, Chamberlain 3, Rayner and Tom and Aaron Warple both got 2 apiece. Better players there, Dylan, Stone, Husson and Rayner. And the goal kickers for Thompson was P. O'Neill. Better players, Hardiman, Gardner and Bingham Kenny. So North Geelong and Corio, top 2 sides, and probably will need to do the rest of the sides do a bit of work to catch up to them, though. But they're closing up.
Closing the gap. Yeah, well done, Smithy. And of course, Dale will be back again next Saturday morning with an under 18 update. We look forward to that indeed. Now, the 94.7 match of the round this afternoon is between the Inverleigh Hawks out at the Inverleigh Oval at the railway line out there, and they take on Bellpost Hill. And I'll start with you, Jake. One would think that the season is on the line for Inverleigh, and it's a big task to knock off the Panthers.
Yeah, they're almost gone, aren't they? The Hawks, as you said, this is probably their D-Day today. If they can't beat Bellpost Hill at home, then I doubt they'll be playing finals. They're 4 wins and 4 losses at the moment, so really are hanging in one of those precarious positions. And Bellpost Hill, I suppose they've got run into them at the wrong time because they're playing some terrific footy at the moment. We saw them 2 weeks ago absolutely destroy East Geelong, and they continued on their merry way again last week against Corio. Unfortunately for Inverleigh, I think it might be the same again today, Dick. I think Bellpost Hill just playing too good a footy at the moment. Maybe if they played them, a month ago, they might have been a chance at home. But with the injuries starting to pile up and the form of Bellpost Hill at the moment, you'd be silly to tip against them. So I think Bellpost Hill might effectively start to pretty much end Inverleigh season today.
Smithy, what's going on with Mini Me down at full forward there? Raylan Lewis, he's not getting in the goals what he used to at the start of the season.
Yeah, look, Dick, I'm not too sure if he's travelling too well at all, but I know that he's been playing, so whether he's had a few injuries, I'm not too sure, but the fact is that they have had a few injuries. Now, you can't take that into account because most sides have got a seconds and an under-18 group they can call in. Their kids in the under-18s have gone up and played senior footy and acquitted themselves quite well, but I suppose playing some of the sides they've played against has just been a little bit too much for them. They need to get back on the winning list. As I said, they can hedge their fortunes from now onwards, saying that they've got some easy games coming up, but the fact is they have to beat someone above them for that confidence they'll need going forward. So if they can't do that today, it's going to make it really hard. While they'll only be still probably a game or a bit outside the top 5, it's going to make it very hard with the remaining games they have coming home to finish off the season. So, as I said, it's Jake mentioned before, this is probably a season-defining game for them. If they can get themselves up and going this week and make a contest of it, they've done it against Belpost Hill before when they've been underdogs, so it could be interesting.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I suppose it's all very well and good that they can win these easier games coming up, but the fact is they're not in the top 5 at the moment, and if the teams above them aren't losing, then they're not going to obviously get in. So they're going to have to win today, because if they don't, then of course they might win the next 3 games, but Belpost still probably will as well, and they're still going to be 2 games behind. So, as we're saying, D-Day today for Inverleigh.
And guys, if there's any ground that you want to go to on a cold Saturday afternoon, there's probably a couple we can think of, but Inverleigh always comes to mind. It's rather cool out there.
Yeah, you get down in that little gully, I suppose, and it can be fairly cool, but we're sort of hoping that, well, I suppose it won't get any colder than last week. It was pretty cool out at Winchelsea, so it's going to be similar there today. I think, as I said, I don't think it really will make a difference to either side. I think they're both similarly matched here. It'll just be those guys again coming through the midfield. If they can get that ball going forward like North Geelong did last week, that will make a difference. And I think Inverleigh really, midfield needs to step up. Trotter, Brennergast, Hickle needs to come off the back line. Obviously, Jace Kelly's not playing, but they need those players to be really working hard to get that ball out of the centre.
Fantastic. Well, folks, if you can't get out there this afternoon, it's a bit too cool for you. Tune in at 1:30 this afternoon on 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football, and hear the boys give a blow-by-blow description of the 94.7 match of the round. Speaking of cold places, the winter resort today, Belmont Lions aren't travelling all that well, and, well, they must win against Corio. Smithy, can they do it?
Oh, no.
Oh, fair enough.
I don't think so. Look, they're going along, they're trying, they've got a whole group of new players that have come into the club, and we keep using this as an excuse week in, week out. They've got to show some improvement, they've got to show a bit of fight. They're getting themselves a bit of a start, but they're not staying in games long enough to be really competitive. And I think Corio, just with that little bit of wealth of experience they've got out there, and you go back to Danny Ruck and Barry O'Toole, Mark Stewart, young kid Hune, who's been a sensation for them all year, as I said, could still play junior footy, but with his body size, they've played him through the seniors. They've got plenty of good kids out there at Corio. I just think that because they've spent more time together, and I think there'll be a fair bit of urgency to make sure that Belmont don't get their first win. I think they can win this game pretty comfortably, or not comfortably, Corio, but they will win the game.
Belmont Lions a chance, Jake?
Oh, I wouldn't have thought so.
No.
Even though I think there's a few players rumoured to be coming back, only 1 or 2, I don't think they'll make the difference. As Dale's already alluded to, the senior players of Corio and Barry O'Toole and Mark Stewart. Last time we actually went and saw these 2 sides play out at Belmont last year, which was obviously a long time ago, and Corio still won that game by a good 100 points as well. Billy Nichols kicked 10 goals, obviously not there anymore, but don't think it'll be 100 points, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 10-goal plus win today for Corio. Things aren't going too well for Belmont at the moment.
Well, the floor manager tells me that there's some late clearances going through. I don't know whether we're allowed to mention those, but he's a bit excited about it, and he reckons it might make a lot of difference.
Yeah,
not this week.
Not this week, anyway. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, look, there's too much depth there. Yeah. Like they've still got some good players out of Corio. Like even guys like Eamon Charles. I know he's been out of the game for a little while and been happy to play seconds, but blokes like him and Sean Gundry are good seconds players and can come up and be, a pretty competitive outfit. But as I said, I just think they're drawing at straws a bit at the moment. The Belmont Lions, and Corio from mine will win.
Well, good luck to the Belmont Lions if they can pull off a win, but they did get belted last week by Geelong West. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about all the other big games on this afternoon, and believe me, folks, there's some beauties. Back after this.